question, which is why it sounded like, I mean, and that to me says you were ill prepared, but
exactly.
But as a,
so
you,
then
you
when you're ill prepared and you come out and say that, and you got some people who have strong views in the NFL,
I'm gonna take it from like you said. You saying he's I'm sure Jay-Z knew what kind of question he's gonna be asked.
Yeah,
that's number one when it comes to media. You either you diffuse the question or you're gonna answer the question and deal with the ridicule for it. But I look at a clip of what Charlamagne posted. Charlamagne posted he was in that meeting too.
Yeah.
But listen, he posted that the questions that he asked Jay-Z or asked Roger Goodell got cut from the clip. So you don't know what Jay-Z said. You don't. That's media rule as far as working behind the scenes is like put out what you want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're not in these rooms to know what's going on, but we have to take the fact on, have to accept the fact that Jay-Z, the man that's done reform, that's helped Meek Mill, that's helped Lil Uzi Vert get out of bad contracts, Lil Wayne out of bad contracts, all the things that he does for Brooklyn, what he brought the Brooklyn Nets to Brooklyn. I'm a big Jay-Z fan, but I'm separated. I'm looking at his track record. I'm looking at his resume. I don't think he would just be out here cooning. I'm gonna be straight. I don't think Jay-Z would be out here cooning. I get what those football players are saying, but Kenny Stills has how many black teammates?
A lot. Half of the what is the percentage of the league that's black?
And mind you.
Go ahead. Yeah, I got one for you.
Let's bring in Eric Reed on this. Who did he try to fight on the Eagles? Malcolm Jenkins.
Right.
What does Malcolm Jenkins do?
Play football.
Besides play football, he does a lot. He's an activist. He does a lot of reform. So, if you got an issue with Malcolm Jenkins, who's going to Washington, having these conversations with these white conservatives, Republicans, and things like that, as far as laws, he's trying to make a difference. He's taking a different standpoint than you kneeling. You got a second chance to come back to the NFL, and Kaepernick is still sitting out, right? So when I look at him, this is Eric Reed's second time trying to come at somebody who wasn't in the fight for him, but everybody's fight is different. Everyone has a different technique of how they're going to fight, how they're going to approach this fight. So for Eric Reed to kind of come at Jay-Z, we don't know what he's going to do. When Jay-Z does something, do you really ever know when he's going to do it? He just does it, right? So I personally, here's my thought. I'm okay with Jay-Z having a partnership. And I'm going to say this, I told you this the other day, when we were supposed to be boycotting NFL, the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I watched every game, no matter where I was at, and I was supported. And I didn't front on it. I still played fantasy football. I did all of that, bro.
I think people feel like they have to see, and this ties into like only seeing like where you get your not really going into depth of where you get your information from and developing your own opinion. I think people like Brandon said, whatever is put out there is what we see, unless you search deeper, right? So for people that's only surface level, doing surface level research, where you see a headline or you see somebody in the comments giving their opinion, and then you like, oh, okay, but you don't know the full story. That's how I feel about this whole protest thing. Dang, I lost my point. Fuck. I lost my goddamn point.
What I was saying is that
all the time.
The NFL got exposed for their lack of inclusion, affirmative action.
Right.
We all know every company has affirmative action, right? Every school, where you work at, where I work at, you gotta have a certain amount of color, a certain amount of people to work. We see what the NFL did. Not even just as far as affirmative action, but they blackball Colin Kaepernick. Owners blackball him, right? We got that. Settlement comes out, oh yeah, Kaepernick finally got his chance, etc. He's still not signed to this day right now, right? So the NFL got exposed. NFL hates kicking out money. They hate it.
They will though if it keeps somebody quiet.
Yes,
they will.
They hate kicking out money, right? Okay, now let's look on the other hand. The NFL got exposed. What do people do when they get exposed? They try to find a way to fix it, to make it seem like, put a little makeup on it.
PR is in full effect.
Yeah, PR is in full effect. So you look at that, then you look at Jay-Z. Jay-Z's looking like, okay, they're like, we need to find a leader of the blacks. Let's be honest.
Let's be it.
who can bring in a culture or a certain demographic of people to sway and change their minds about how we blackball Kaepernick, right?
Right. So can I ask you all a question?
Let me get this off. Then please ask. Yeah. Right. So Jay-Z's like, okay, you know, you want to use me, so I'm gonna use you, which I really feel like is gonna happen. There's gonna be so much black culture in the NFL now, so much inclusion. It's not just gonna be your normal Ford F-150 commercials with white. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You know how you watch NFL, how that can happen. But this is my main thing. When you do a business with someone, you use people to what they can do for you. That's business rule number one. What can you do for me?
Right.
What do you think the NFL is using Jay-Z for? What can you do for me? And Jay-Z's like, all right.
Same.
Which can you do for me? And it's a mutual. That's business.
That's a partnership, honestly. That's what it is.
You a rapper, you a producer. I need your beat. You need his lyrics. You got a song. It's just like that. Y'all using each other, believe it or not. So for people that saying he's cooning, you don't even know he just did the
fucking ink is still wet.
Yeah.
The ink ain't even dried on the deal yet.
We don't know what he's going to do. But my question for y'all is, what changed his mind to want to start working with the NFL? When I just said that before, he was, nah, don't nobody perform Super Bowl Travis Scott. You better not do that.
That we don't know.
Jermaine Dupri, they say, he had a deal before. You that deep into the NFL? You shouldn't be that deep in it. I just want to know what y'all think changed his mind to. Matter of fact, the people who I don't want to work with, let me work with them.
Yeah, yo,
we don't know. But I think it goes towards what Brandon was saying is, yo, like, how can we benefit each other? At the end of the day, a lot of people are right. Jay is a capitalist. He's a businessman. The first rule of business is, how can I benefit? Right?
I'm a business.
And that's just as simple as it.
So you're trying to capitalize off of social injustice?
No. But see, you have to capitalizing is just being a part of the deal. What you bring into your deal, what you trying to push while you have your foot in the door or a seat at the table is something totally different. All right, you can capitalize by just signing a deal, okay, but once you get in here, what do you want to do? That's what we have to judge him off of. We can't judge him, I feel like, off of the initial deal, because anybody could have took a deal with the NFL, and if it wasn't Jay-Z, I honestly think, yeah, people probably wouldn't been as lenient or whatever, but at the same time, you gotta look at this man's track record, and you gotta understand that maybe Jermaine Dupri did have the deal first, but what has Jermaine Dupri that we've known done to further anything in the black community? And not taking anything away from Jermaine Dupri, because we don't know that. But I would rather see the nigga that I've seen do things and make things shape in the community and further black culture and like inclusion in that seat, rather than somebody who we really can't trust. Because yeah, it's easy to say we don't believe Jay-Z will be cooning once he get into the NFL and start this deal, but we can assume that because of what he's done in the past. Yeah. We're only basing how we feel about the deal off of what we've seen him do in the past. So that's how I feel about him even signing the deal. Like, I would rather him do it than any other person that you don't know what they've done for the community that may have just been taking it for the money. And even if he is taking it for the money, cool, like, get your money, whatever. Because like I said, all these players that are fake for Kaepernick and still mad at Ho for doing the deal, they still playing. They've never protested longer than a year. They weren't ever at risk of losing their job like Cap was. You know, they didn't put their all on the line. And even Eric Reed, and Kenny Stills, and not to say that they not with Cap, because clearly they are. They his right-hand men. But at the same time, they are still playing in the league. They still have an opportunity that he doesn't have. So if it was really if they were really solid in that foundation of them protesting the NFL until their man got a job, at what cost? You took a contract even after your man's been blackballed. Eric Reed.
You said that nobody was in jeopardy of losing their jobs. Multiple